everybody, and we are back with more Blood Bowl. I am Complacent Badger.
I'm Syracuse.
And we are watching the Snarltoof Smashers versus Re-AWOOOOOken. Those Necromantic furballs. I guess they're not really all furballs, only two.
Right. But, you know, that's their, that's the one you see on all their publicity, so.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean,
everybody thinks.
like if you put it on the poster, I mean, that's what I think.
So, another high team value team versus a low team value team?
Yes, once again, I did not look at the difference of the team values before I loaded the replay, so shame on me. So
it was
I'm
about
just,
800.
Yeah, that's a lot of inducements. Let's see. I think he picked up a... No, that's Orc. We'll see what he picked up. Maybe we'll see some Smashas going out there, some halflings cooking up the goods.
We'll find out pretty soon, because that's one that lets us know about pretty early.
Yep. Re-AWOOOOken's offensive line looking a little shabby, leaving that wang open over there and over there.
Right, but I have all the faith in the world that the Smashas are going to smash. Oh, he brought him in even further.
Oof. So, already that was a really bad kick. Master Chef's eating up two of those re-rolls.
Yeah.
So
was it the Smashas in the last league kept trying to do the onside kick? Is that what he's doing again? Because
he keeps hitting his guy, like he keeps hitting that dude in the back of the head every time.
Right.
Like, Rockclaw just takes a ball to the back of the head every time that guy kicks. So
I mean, it might be what he's doing.
So with using that high movement value to kind of shift the entire movement over there, but leaving his wing completely open to the blitz. So that's going to end poorly probably.
I hope
but he fucking waits to use Rockclaw, which is the lowest movement, and puts him down with a nice block.
And then fails the catch.
But that's okay. So, yeah, that defense, very non-standard defense, kind of crumbling immediately. The blitz right there not helping. The failed blitz not helping with all that, because I'm sure he would have moved the ghoul. I doubt the play was have the ghoul stand there.
That's true. But this is a prime example why this isn't a standard defense.
Yeah. So,
got the ball.
Ghoul actually gets up, grabs the ball, but then doesn't... Oh, it goes for the pass. Fumbled pass, so not even an intercept, just fumbled pass and then picks it up. Uses that fireball real early on just a couple linemen with high armor value.
Yeah, that'll be a thing.
The squirrels cheering in the stands.
That'll be alright.
Pushing off a pretty high-level character, I think. So yeah, I don't know if burning that fireball, that wizard, so quick is going to be too helpful. Ooh, that was Moglop.
Yeah, that might have been a bit of a frustration move.
Yeah, because you're not going to gain a lot by taking out those guys, and especially not when you can't capitalize on it.
Yep, that's all you needed, a little bit of a push.
Okay, so that was...
That might be the fastest touchdown that the Smashas have done.
For that, you got to focus on protecting that ball carrier before you start throwing out crazy rolls. Not that a blitz is a crazy roll, but you weren't going to gain many yards other than that hit.
Yeah.
So I probably would have put that ball carrier up in a cage before throwing that blitz. You weren't going to... That ghoul was so far back, you're not going to gain more yards than that.
And I think that's a prime example of having all those guys on the line means that you can't build a good cage until you disengage your players. So having a little bit better idea of who's going to be in your cage by possibly setting it up, or at least setting up the front two guys, so that you know that you have that portion set up.
Yeah.
And this early in the game, you don't need a full cage. You don't need a full four-person cage. You need
Probably two. If you're really close to the line, maybe a third to protect from that
From
side that you're
one
not on the
direction.
sideline.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm 100% with you there. That's
yeah.
exactly.
The point of that early cage is just to block avenues to hitting your ball carrier, not necessarily to protect the ball carrier completely.
Right, because a lot of that is
Ooh.
you're going to have to get guys already dodging through or trying to make a hole in your front line, and then you just want to eat up their movement allowance so that they can't really get to you.
So that line of 4 right there crumbling pretty fast. That was real fast.
Yep.
This is, I mean, I know it's tough for a lot of teams that are like early bash teams, but the Smashas are not a team that you want to get engaged with. There's only a couple teams that could stand up to the Smashas right now in a fist fight, and none of the new teams are those teams.
Yeah.
The exception might be Malel's Mashers, just because they have that huge armor value. They're looking at 8s and 9s. But even then, they don't have the block to facilitate fist fight.
Right, and you know it's going to be the strength and the armor value is really what you're looking at here.
The Necromantic team has a lot of agility 3 characters, and a couple with dodge and whatnot that you really need to be focused on playing an agility game and then just hit with those werewolves in very prime blitzing positions to get that claw where you need it.
Yeah, great job by the Smashers, real quick, that used the strip ball.
Yes, strip ball is a highly overlooked but highly powerful ability. Not a lot of people are taking sure hands early, and sure hands is the only thing that stops that strip ball. And the strip ball causes the ball to fly out even on a push.
Right. I've got it on a couple of my guys, and I like it. And that's for my anti-elf bullshit, where you can dodge and fucking whatever you want to do, but that ball's coming loose.
And it's funny because elves tend not to take sure hands early because they have that agility to pick up the ball, whereas in agility 3 teams are worse, pick up that sure hand so they can ensure a ball pickup.
Right.
So rolling off to the side, trying his best to get away from these guys, but it's not going to be enough. 2 die his choice. It was not, I guess. I don't know how that strength came down like that. Doing a foul and losing another player. I don't know if the foul was a good move. You're already low on players. That probably wasn't the best move, especially with enough turns that a potential touchdown can happen.
Yeah, and the team value or the armor value on this team like it is.
Yeah, without assists to get in to break through that initial armor on the foul, because you can have other players help on the foul.
It's almost required.
Yeah,
that's what you do to make that an effective option.
Smash is just kind of putting down the last bits of resistance while he sets up for the second touchdown.
In the first half.
Both players have just burnt through their re-rolls. Re-AWOOOOken using 6 re-rolls already, and Snarltoof Smash is only having 3 available.
Yeah, and that's why that's such a powerful thing, because when you go into a match thinking that you've got 5 re-rolls, or you're used to playing with 5 re-rolls, you kind of forget as you play, that level of risk. There you go.
Catch somebody flat-footed when they're like, yeah, I got another reroll, and they look up and they're like, I don't have another reroll.
Yeah, that'll change your entire plan.
Whoa.
There are a lot of things that I'll do with a reroll that I won't do without a reroll.
Yes. So Bloodwiser Babe's actually picking up only 1 Bloodwiser Babe. So not picking up either of those characters. Me personally, I will pick up 2 Bloodwiser Babes before I pick up a wizard.
Yep. I'm with that.
Wizards aren't nearly reliable enough for me to pick up unless I'm just like, I have too many inducements. Like, my first is always Halfling Master Chefs.
Right.
Then I'll get 2 Bloodwiser Babes. And if I still have 100, if I'm not hurting on rerolls, I'll actually get a Wandering Apothecary. I have not seen many people getting Wandering Apothecaries, but that really keeps your team value. Oh, that claw just working. And that's what you need to do. You need to really just don't fight until you can get a really good blitz. But stopping over here, right there, is and now giving him the ball makes him a massive target.
Yeah.
The ghoul gonna kind of stop it from being too terrible, I think.
Yeah, you don't have a clean angle on a blitz, which is the only benefit right there.
But the moment that Gorfak stands up, then your werewolf's going to kind of be stuck. There's not a lot of avenues of retreat, so you're just going to get kind of covered, most likely, and at some point they will push you out if you can't get out of there.
Well, if you know what, see, he is going to stand up, but now you can.
And look, he's looking for that blitz angle, and you actually, that's funny, you actually dogged him into going for it and failing the dodge roll, so that's actually
awesome.
a decent gambit of making him really want to push that guy out of the pitch, despite the fact that that was it. That there was, unless it resulted in an injury or something, it wasn't going to matter.
Right, and that's, I mean, that was really good.
Yeah, whether it was on purpose or not, you definitely goaded him into making a risky move.
Plus, you got the use
shame on you, Smashas, for doing something like that. That you've been playing long enough. You shouldn't be goaded by that. You should have just hit the ghoul or something.
Yeah. Getting the ball carrier didn't matter. Just because the guy's got a little.
I think he was afraid of the claw too.
Yeah.
Which I would be too if I was armor value 8 and 9.
Yeah.
That immediately makes your 150,000 salary characters a lot more vulnerable.
I've heard that claw is pretty dangerous.
Oh, really? Is it? I mean, you're talking about bloodthirsters here?
Yeah. I think it might have something about an ogre.
Ugh, mighty blow.
All that beauty.
Oh, that niggling injury, bumping it up to KO.
And that's nice too. And that's one of those things, like, I like to go in to a match knowing who my big targets are. Like, if there's somebody who's at a strength disadvantage or somebody with a niggling injury, oh yeah, man, because they're ripe for star player points.
Yep.
And not that that's going to be my primary focus. You know, my primary focus is to, if I can get somebody out of the way, yes, and that's going to help me. But
that was not a good choice. And also keeping both of your flesh golems on the wing over here. Like, I get because you want them to be able to hit. Ooh.
Damage back.
Yeah, it's a niggling. I understand that you want your flesh golems to be able to strike, but the purpose of them is to keep from having your midfield, because if you lose your midfield, you're probably going to get scored on. Because maintaining a midfield keeps you have a presence on both wings as you go down the pitch. Right now, they're kind of coming in and consuming your midfield and just going to be able to score.
Yeah. You know, you look at this second half, and this is one of those things that I say, and it's a firm theory, is, you know, I go in the first half to bash smartly, because I know that in the second half, if you've got 4 less players than I do,
scoring's a lot easier.
Scoring's a lot easier, you know. It's a little bit of Blood Bowl foreplay, you know. Makes it easy.
You want to warm it up.
Yeah. And that makes a big difference. So when you go back to talking about the Bloodweiser babes, having as many players as you can come back in the second half is a game changer. You know, coming in 2 or 3 players down is devastating.
So, kind of a little overextension over here. Feeling pretty strong about this, despite the fact that only a 3+ dodge for an assist, and then or go for the 1 die. Yeah, just could have been a 3+ and then had 2 dice, and that would have been a Moglop, one of his best players, with armor value 7 and 2 dice coming at him with that claw.
I love it.
That could have been a dead Moglop.
He puckered a little bit. You know it's true.
When you got 2 scores to 0, I don't know if you want that overextension like that. I would be playing slow.
Right. I mean, you've got to win. You're confident that even if your opponent scores a touchdown, you're not going to give them 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. And that overextension with those easy dodge rolls is just asking for pain. Go for it for a touchdown, so Moglop getting those star player points.
Because he needs some more.
Yeah. When Claw's on the pitch, man, do not play. Like, you need to be very careful. I have had many of my seasons many players have their seasons cut short because of a character with Claw.
Yeah. And That's the only thing that I wish that you could do was make little notes over top of the players. Like if you could go through and edit, be like, here's the guy with this, here's the guy with this, because it's tough to keep track of.
Werewolves. I've never actually seen a werewolf pass, so that's funny. He just kind of overhand chucks it at him, like, take this, please. It was like, Jesus, man.
I mean, it was closer to a skyhook than anything else. He's got to keep it in the palm of his hand, or his talons will
just
get
deflate the ball, and then they're just throwing around a deflated rubber over there.
That's easier to catch, though, right?
Yeah.
Throw it like a frisbee.
And I think in the lore, the actual ball is made of like a squig stomach or something like that. So
yeah.
Ooh! Catch.
Perfect launch.
I don't know if I would be starting my pass game like at turn 12.
Right.
But I guess if you're 3 touchdowns down, I guess. But at least try to get a touchdown when you're.
That's what I would have.
When you've got 4 turns.
Been thinking of the entire time.
Yeah, because now you don't really have a chance of getting a touchdown, because you kind of burnt 2 turns on throwing a ball around.
Yeah. Oh, just flat dead.
But it was
regeneration.
He has not made a single regen this whole game.
No. He said he had a couple last week, right?
Yeah, he had some good regens too. Ooh.
No.
Go for it, man.
No, I will not go for it.
That's that last reroll. I don't think the chefs helped him this time. But still, 2 rerolls taken. If you were to badly hurt.
Catch failed, badly hurt. So much text in red.
If you were to break it down with the cost of the inducements, buying 2 rerolls and inducements costs 200,000, and then I would say that taking rerolls from your opponent is equal to, if not better than, 100,000 apiece. So you made out spending 300,000, and by the numbers, at least 400,000 worth.
Yep, I believe that.
So he doesn't have the movement, but.
Not even close.
That's Orc thought process. Where the ball goes into the end zone. That's the point, right? It's like, no, dude, that's not how it works. You have to have somebody holding it. Smashes the ref for saying it.
That'll be fine. That ref was standing in a pool of blood the entire time. That's the designated ref spot.
Yeah. He was trying to call fouls on the Orcs, but then he was like, he looked around and he was like, that's probably not a good move.
Yeah, they got all the dope on that spot.
Yep. All right, so for the Snarltoof smashes, the only thing I have for you, man, is just be careful when there's claw characters out in the field. That could have. There's a couple instances, especially the one that we talked about, that could end in a dead star player. And star player, I mean like your personal good ones. And
and you don't even have to say a dead one, but just taking a stat point from one of those guys or not having them next match
shuts them down pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then for Re-AWOOOOken, I think you. I don't know, man. You played a lot better games. This is probably one of your less than ideal games.
Yeah, and it started off pretty early with your setup, and I think that had a lot to do with it.
And that's okay. I think you were trying to try something new. You were doing some stuff. I think also playing against the Smashas kind of maybe put you in a weird mindset.
Yeah, they're not fun to look at.
No,
this line of scrimmage.
Because you kind of look at an Orc team on the calendar and you're like, meh. And then you line up against them, you're like, man, that's a lot of strength for.
Yeah, they just look significantly bigger.
I think you need to maybe reassess and just go back to your fundamentals. And then you also need to know when you are outclassed in a certain stat. The beauty of Agility 3, Strength 3 teams is that they can play both an agility game and both a strength game. They're not really pigeonholed like some of the other teams are.
Right.
And you can move back and forth even during the game. You can go, okay, I have the upper hand right now, so I'll keep beating on them. Or, you know what, I'm kind of getting tossed right now, let me back up a little bit and maybe play a passing game or, short pass or something like that.
And even splitting the field is where you have a section of players that are playing a little bit Smash, and then
because you have like the player advantage.
Creating a little bit of that distraction, and then playing an agility style on the other half where you're trying to suck up a blitz on one side and then not have everybody engaged on the other side. So,
yeah, and that's that beauty that we're talking about for these agility 3, strength 3 teams, and you have the a couple other advantages of claw basic and dodge basic, and you have players that are very very capable in their roles at the same time of almost all of them being very versatile. So there's a lot of tools. You just need to be able to know where those tools fit.
Right, and that's the nice thing where people think. I mean, there are a couple teams that might be a little unbalanced, but overall, all the teams when they start that way for a reason, because all basic teams should be fairly balanced against each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to figure out how that team is supposed to play and play them that way to the best of your ability. Now, this was a time where you got out smashed pretty fast, so and I know that that's really devastating. Your first turn to get just knocked down, beat up, and then have your opponent get the ball back. So those first 2 touchdowns, not really anything you could do about it. That was just a poor setup and a poor set of circumstances after that.
Yeah, it was a snowball effect where a couple bad choices, a couple bad rolls really ended up where the first half went against you.
Right, and the second half you were down a couple players. So I can see that game was a train wreck from the start, but focus on what you're going to do next time. What happens? What did you learn from playing a powerful Smash team? Are you going to try to go against them that way? What are you going to do different? And that's the opportunity here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I think we're good on that one.
Yeah.
So just everybody, thanks for playing, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.
Cheers.